Well, good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. So thrilled to have you as part of the show, and we thank Invita Health and Wellness for being our title sponsor. We are in the Invita Health and Wellness studios. Not only do they look amazing, they smell amazing. Trust me, my guest said just that. Everyone who comes in always says, "Oh, I love your set, and it smells so good." We love that. We've got a really fun show on tap for you today. You know, I have forever talked about my parents being incredible dancers, champion swing and jitterbug dancers, and their upbringing had to do with Club Imperial. How many people in St. Louis danced back in the day to Ike and Tina Turner? Oh my gosh, there's story after story after story that I have heard from my mom. I mean, how cool. We all sit there and we think of the bands that we dance to or we go and listen to. Can you imagine Ike and Tina Turner being the people that you dance to? Those are the stories played out, by the way, on stage at the Fabulous Fox. If you have followed me for 30 years, you know I am very big into the arts. And I have to thank my mom and dad for just that. They introduced me to the Fox, to the Muni at a very young age. And I highly encourage you to do that with your kids, your grandkids. I'm doing that right now with my godchild, with my nieces, my nephews, etc. That's what you need to do, and hopefully it attaches to them that years later they thank you. They thank the parents, they thank the grandparents for doing just that, and they say, "Oh, now I'm taking my kids to the Fox." It's this amazing aspect of paying it forward. My mom, by the way, used to tell the story about going to the Fabulous Fox and watching a movie for 25 cents, a quarter, to sit in the beautiful Fabulous Fox and watch a movie. I mean, we take these things for granted. So all those beautiful stories that I have forever lived growing up as a little girl, and then she introduced us to musicals and to stage and to live theater, all of that. The Fabulous Fox Theater we mentioned on Tuesday, they opened up with Tina, the Tina Turner musical. And I know so many of you are saying, wait, that's now? Yes. So if you haven't purchased tickets, you need to immediately, because it only runs until the 26th. I want you to do what I just said. Bring the kids, bring your coworkers, do a girls' night out, do a guys' night out, do a couples' night out. This is one you won't want to miss. And here's what I've been told by a friend of mine who saw it on Broadway. Some of you leave at curtain call. She said, don't. And I said, why? What happens? Is it, is it that? And she's like, I'm not telling you. So I have a feeling we're going to dance in the aisle. And we highly encourage you to do that, by the way. So we're going to talk with the women behind the musical. Yes, the woman who plays Tina Turner. She's going to be here. The woman who plays Zelma is here. Those are my guests. We're going to have all of that played out. They will be in the blue chairs, Ari and Roz, when we return. Invita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Invita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Invita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Invita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online invitahealthandwellness.com. Well, welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. We are so thrilled to have you on board. By the way, if you're brand new, let us know. I love all the new people that are following us since March 1st when we had a dream, since I walked away from television. You all followed me there. And we said, no, it's time to do positivity. And every day bring you hope. Every day make you laugh. And every day introduce you to the really cool things that are happening in our city. And one of which is happening right now in our city at the Fabulous Fox Theater. Who doesn't love Tina Turner? I mean, come on. This is a dream role to play. We've got Ari Groover with us, who plays Tina Turner, and then we have Roz White, who plays Velma. Ladies, thanks for being here, by the way.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Here's the fun thing. They walked in and I said, ladies, we just got done with a Wet Your Whistle Wednesday segment and we have wine. Would you like some? They said, yes. So let's do a cheers. It's never, you know what? You said this, Ari. Yes. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
5 o'clock somewhere.
5 a.m., 5 p.m., we don't care. Cheers to you.
Oh, that's really great.
Oh, good. Oh, look at her. So,
awesome.
Okay, good. Well, welcome, by the way. Welcome into the show. Thank you so much for taking some time. This is one that everyone has been waiting for.
Yes.
I mean, the storied history of not just St. Louis, but East St. Louis, the small clubs. Mm-hmm. People always talk about Club Imperial. Here's what I want to know. Like, first, let's talk with you, Ari. So growing up, did you love Tina Turner?
Oh God, yes. My mom used to have the I Can Tina Turner review on the actual vinyl, and she would play it all the time. Our song that I would hear the most was "Higher." It was like such a pivotal song, especially at a time when my mom was growing up that invoked change. So we would play that around the house, and then she had the whole private dancer. Just the whole the covers, back in the day where you used to have covers,
Yes.
you go open up and see all the things. It was such a nostalgic feeling. So to play her is an honor. I mean, she is the queen of rock and roll, and it's just to see a black woman as that image is, beyond sometimes our wildest dreams, and she did that.
Well, she broke through so many barriers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing of the story. Everyone thinks about listening to the incredible music. You have one of your favorite or multiple favorite songs, but it's the story. It's the overcoming. And ladies, on this show, we talk about it a lot. It's like, let's give hope and possibility to what you're going through. Some really dark times. We know the story. Or if you don't, then you're going to see it play out on stage of what that woman went through. And I just got to chill because there's so many people that stay in abuse. So many people that stay in the darkness, right? And it's very, very sad. I mean, you think about the motherly role of trying to help Anna Mae along. Talk about that, playing that role and trying to guide her.
Well, it's interesting because Zelma, and it's so funny because when we opened the segment, you said Velma. My best friend does that all the time. He says Velma Zelma.
Yes.
So he actually calls me Velma. So Timothy, thank
Velma
you.
Zelma.
Anyway, so Zelma
Yes.
is not the caring, nurturing mother that one would think you would need. She is the opposite of that. Zelma, I'm reading one of Tina's books right now, and she describes her as a woman who used to sit in a window on a stool and think her way out. So she never was happy with the circumstances that she was in. Anna Mae being a part of that unhappiness is so sad that she did not want that child. And so all of that anger and resentment went towards Anna Mae, and she treated her differently than her other sister. And Anna Mae felt it. And so they didn't have a close relationship.
Right.
But Zelma, I believe, was the catalyst for Anna Mae becoming a star. Because when you are beaten down like that, it takes a certain kind of resilience to push through everything that we know Tina Turner had to push through. Anna Mae was the one that was doing the pushing.
Right, and if you don't know, that's Tina's name is Anna Mae.
Yeah.
That's a really amazing way to look at life because so many times people can be beaten down. And I've said this a lot. It all is how much power do you give to the abuser?
Yeah.
How much power do you give to the person who doesn't believe in you? And many people just stay sedentary and say, okay, I believe you. I don't deserve any of this. She said, no. Not me, right?
That's right.
You're right. I think that played a big part of it. Yeah, let's roll some of the footage from what you're going to see play out on stage at the Fabulous Fox Theater. Again, Tina Turner and Zelma. I'm telling you what, I've been we've done 4 back-to-back segments today. I'm sorry for that. Look at that. I mean, let's talk about the costumes, Ari. Right? Are they not incredible?
Oh, they're incredible. Yeah, they're incredible.
Oh my God.
You get and the legs.
Yes.
She's known for her legs.
Yes.
Mama, yes.
How much fun did you have, being able to be cast to say, I'm going to be Tina Turner?
I mean, fun fact is I did the Broadway company, and I actually played Tina's sister, Eileen, and then was a Tina understudy that went on quite a few times and went viral for one of those times that I did go on. So to come back to the tour and to be playing her, full time is such an honor. And it's just it's a reminder of the progression that I have made within, even my own career. So it's nice to see the hard work pay off, which is something that is so that's like the connective tissue between me and Tina, to see the perseverance of being something in an industry that tells you what you should look like, how you should sing, what you should be as a woman, or say, your time is up because you're in your mid 40s with 2 kids and we don't see you as, or value this aesthetic. Know your value.
Don't you love that?
Know your value.
Come on.
I mean, this was the biggest part of the show when we launched this. You're saying everything, Ari, that every woman has felt or will.
Or
Trust
will,
me,
yeah.
all of you that are in your 20s, it will happen to you. Someone will say it, but hopefully what we do today will change your life.
Yeah.
One person, if we change one person's life to say, not me, you're not going to put me in a corner, you're not going to tell me I can't be something.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We
Yeah.
all have our stories, right?
Yes.
I'm sure
Absolutely.
someone in your career said, nope.
Oh,
Wear
yes.
your hair a different way. Don't
Yes.
put your makeup on like this. Why are you wearing those clothes?
Yes.
Right?
All the
but we
time.
have to break through the barriers and say, I'm not going to give you power. I'm not going to listen to this, which Tina did, by
Yes.
the way. So I've listened to a lot of things that the two of you have been through. I've looked at the background of the different productions you've been at. But would you say this is your biggest, your proudest? I mean, there's, and not that you want to diss anything else you've
No.
done. No, come on, it's Tina.
This is definitely one of the biggest shows
Okay.
I've done within my career, in terms of leading this big ship. It's definitely an expansive role that you are literally on stage for majority of the time until intermission. People get to see you cry, see you laugh, see you change on stage. So there's a big level of vulnerability that you have when playing Tina. And the great thing about this is that this role in particular is going to challenge you to really have to sit with yourself and learn your truth and authenticity. And you being proud of that makes it so much, I don't want to say the word is easier, but makes you feel empowered to actually step into playing Tina, and you're doing this for almost 3 hours. And it's very, this is an athlete. This is, at the peak of, this is literally like, I wish I could say this was an Olympic sport, because it really is. It's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that. But it's, to play her is knowing to be yourself first. And this was actually a bit of tips that Tina gave us. Some of us got to meet her. I didn't get a chance to meet her, unfortunately, but she was very adamant about talking to all of her Tinas and saying the most important thing that you should do is be true to yourself and be who you are, and then you will bring authenticity to me. She never wanted any type of a imitation of her. Or especially we don't want to portray a caricature of her. This is a real person. So we wanted to honor her, and that was, in her words, the best way to honor her. So we try our best to really be one with ourselves here first, and then, portray it to the world.
You are just, I mean, everything out of your mouth is literally this show. Ari Groover, by the way, who plays Tina Turner. The authentic self, the authenticity of life. The show is called The Real Monica Adams for a reason, because I'm just so tired of the fakeness that goes on. Right, let's just think of, people are going to go see the show. They might take a little selfie of themselves. And then they put the filters on and they doctor it up. And it's like, just be yourself. No. I love that you said it. You've given me so many chills on this show already. We just started. I wanted to know if either of you had a chance to meet Tina. You didn't get a chance to. I mean, what an icon. What an icon, and what a loss, by the way.
Yeah.
That we lost such, I mean, I'm not just talking about from the music world. It's much more than that.
Yeah.
It's what she's done for women. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
What she's done for women, Roz, to make them say, you can get away from it.
Oh, absolutely. And yes, of course, we have to get into the abuse, because that is what she fought through to get to where she was. But I am so proud of her as a businesswoman.
Absolutely.
And the way that she was able to negotiate for $1 million advance at a time when they were calling her the N-word.
Yeah.
Ageism was prevalent. I am a woman of a certain age. I am mid-career. For me to have this gig, it's different than for, say, someone younger. This is the big thing. I've been chasing Broadway since I was a little kid.
Come on,
like
cheers.
4 years old.
Cheers to that.
We needed wine today. This was the first time we've actually done it on set. Besides that segment, it is needed.
Yeah.
Look, I'm proud to say I'm 52 years old.
I got you by a year. 53. Come on.
And both of y'all
I'm
look
the
great.
elder.
Okay?
But you look good, girl.
You look great.
Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, because I want young boys to understand this too. You're going to go through it. You're going to go through, oh, I've got the dad bod. I'm not looking good. Why? I mean, why the self-hate, really? But the business side is so amazing, because at some point, a woman had to step forward and say, wait a minute, I'm valued. I'm worth this. We've all talked about it's a man's world. No, it's not anymore. Now women have rose up. And then what happens, just like Tina has done, it is a role model.
Absolutely.
right? You sit there and go, well, she did it. I feel empowered that I can do it. And
Sure.
I love that. So, Ari, you brought up earlier, and this is what I want to know from the entire cast. It has to be. I haven't seen it yet. I can't wait to see it. I imagine it's got to be so much from a physicality standpoint. I mean, she's known for her beautiful voice. She's known
Yeah.
for the business side, the entrepreneurial side, the breaking the barriers. But she's known for her physique well into her years.
Yes.
That is correct.
Still
Still.
well built. Again, the legs, I'm sure, were insured, weren't they? For
Oh, yeah,
millions of
they were
dollars?
insured. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, how much from a physicality standpoint, from your other productions that you've done,
Yeah.
compare them?
It's interesting because this is just as physical as any other gig that I have done as an actual dancer.
Okay.
Tina was athletic, and what a lot of people don't know, which they will learn in the show, is that Tina actually choreographed most of her moves, and she got her moves from the clubs in St. Louis. So, people who know that history, you know. So she was very adamant about being physical, and what I loved about Tina is, I think sometimes people have this image of what grace is, and I think her grace is powerful. So the way that she was in her physicality and her movements, she found the beauty in some of her moves that she would do. It was actually from a dojo where one of the Ikettes was taking a self-defense class, and she loved it. Or she loved the way football players did their conditioning and how they gyrate,
Right.
and how it shakes and you show the physicality. And she wore dresses because she was just like, I need to move. I got to be free. So it's a very physical show. I mean, and the thing about this is that this will teach you endurance. Sure. Some people are, quick sprinters, but this will teach you about how to run a marathon.
I was going to ask you, did you have to change the way you train at all for this?
For sure,
In what way?
Learning how to pace yourself, learning where your peaks and your valleys are, learning where to let certain things, meaning your cast, push you through, and letting them actually take the wheel to lead. It's about learning the give and take, and I think that's really a testament to her leadership. She knew when to step back and let other people shine. And this is I know it's the Tina Turner musical, but this is a very ensemble driven show. I could not do this without them.
Sure.
I know people are like, well, it's your show. I'm like, yes, but I honestly could not do this without the ensemble. So it teaches you, about how to, take care of your body, things that you need to do to help your voice. I mean, I sing 22 songs back to back, maybe with no breaks. Maybe it's, we get an intermission, but it's just learning about your body and learning that, hey, I get fatigued. How can I sing fatigued? Or how can I do this fatigued?
Yes.
And it's really prepping yourself as, it's really weird. The conditioning is almost like if you were training to be a boxer, and you're trying to train for your weight, whatever class weight that
Sure.
you are. And boxers, they really, besides, doing a lot of cardio, it's a lot of endurance.
Absolutely.
That comes with this, because you got to go 12 rounds. You hoping that you could get,
You gotta go
before,
2 hours and 45 minutes, already.
you hoping that you could get them out for the first round, but most of the times that's not the case. So you're really just training your body. But it also, I think within this role, it taught me how to relax in a show that can be very traumatic. It teaches you the importance of meditation, for one,
Sure.
and why Tina was a devout Buddhist, and we understand it. But it teaches you you really have to relax and enjoy the thing and the time that you're doing on stage, and even enjoy yourself off the stage too. It's a really finding a way to be like, okay, this might have been crazy today, but I'm gonna relax in that, and I feel much better. And
She
you can get through.
literally, Ari is literally, what have we been talking about this entire, last 9 months since the show started? The physicality, so it's the physical side, the mental side, meditation, and then the spiritual side, right? We're talking about the religious aspect or the spiritual aspect, whatever you think. So there's no way for you to live every part of your life unless you have the balance of mental, physical, spiritual, and that's what we're discussing. We're going to take a quick break. We're visiting once again with Ari Groover and Roz White. We're talking about Tina, the Tina Turner musical at the Fabulous Fox that runs through November 26th. You better get your tickets. This is not one where you're going to go, I was going to go, and I hear everybody, trust me, everybody on social is going to be talking about this, and you do not want to be told that you didn't go and see it. So we'll have more about the message and what they're proudest of with this production when we return.
Carroll House Furniture is growing and hiring for many positions. Drive to success, delivering concierge service and setup in customer homes.
Enjoy teamwork in our clean, organized warehouse where Carroll House stocks for fast, free delivery.
Associates sell more and make more with 3.5 acres of choices in stock, infinite custom orders, plus the lowest prices in the country.
If you like top pay and the best benefits in St. Louis, you'll love working here.
So if you like nice things, join the Carroll House Furniture family.
Well, the warmer weather is exiting and colder weather is upon us. Have you been putting off getting that heater inspected or fixed? Well, that's like pushing your car to fumes. You don't want to be left feeling empty and cold. Let Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialist come to your rescue to take you out of the miserable cold inside your home and help warm you, your home, and your hearts. Don't put it off or you'll be stranded inside in the cold. Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialist. From routine maintenance to unexpected repairs, they've got you covered with 24-hour availability. al-don.com. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. We've been having a lot of fun. Now look, this is just in my wheelhouse. Every day for 30 years, I told Ari, if you're just tuning in, Ari Groover and Roz White are my guests. And I told you ladies I was going to tell you this story. So most people in my industry, they drink coffee or they have a ridiculous amount of caffeine. They do the Red Bulls, etc. For 30 years, you know what I've done to wake up? What do you think?
Listen to a song.
Listen to which song?
Oh,
Proud Mary.
Yes!
Proud Mary. Oh,
Can you believe it?
Yes, I can believe it.
Every morning for 30 years, I would put it on, and that's what I would listen to. So Tina has been a part of my life for long before that, but for 30 years, that's my caffeine.
It's amazing.
How does that not wake you up? I mean, her energy,
Yes.
the spirit. But I was proud to dance to. There it is, dancing.
Yes, get it.
Dancing with the St. Louis Stars. That was actually for Independence Center. I was very, very blessed, and I knew right away when they said, "What do you want to dance to?" I will tell you, I went back and forth. I almost did Nutbush, which I
yeah,
love.
I love that. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
But I was like, no, it's got to be Proud Mary. It's like literally what I wake up to. So yes,
That's
it's
amazing.
been a lot of fun. What are you proud of? That's one of my proudest moments. What are you proudest of with this production?
I'm proud of every single member of this cast and how I was just saying to Sari on the way here, how no matter how you throw, because after being out on the road for over a year, we get several different versions of the show because there may be injuries or people may be on vacation finally or something like that, but so no matter how you throw it to us, we give you a kick show every single night. I'm so proud that I'm able to do life-changing work and reach people from all different walks of life and to connect with brilliant artists like Ari and Paris and our other ensemble members as well. It's life work for me. It's like I'm so proud that I stayed healthy so that I could be able to do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, people are going to expect to come to the show and see great dancing. You're going to expect to come to the show and see and hear great vocals. But it's the overall coming away from it. Oh my gosh, I learned this. I didn't know this about her life. She taught me, or I walk away from this and I have strength.
Yeah.
So I asked her, Ari, for you, what's your proudest?
I mean, that is pretty spot on, what Roz said. But I think some of the proudest moments, even in the days when I'm tired, I'm always reminded that this is a life-saving for people, people who have dealt with domestic violence and abuse, or people who most of their lives have been told that they can't do something. And it's a constant reminder of like, this is why you do it. Of course, everybody talks about, oh, you get the fame. I hate that word sometimes.
Yep.
But the attention, all of this, the accolades, and which is great. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's just talking from person to person, to human, to say, this really moved me, or I didn't know, I wasn't expecting this, and you made me see something in myself that I lost. And so that is the proudest moment when I can at least reach one person. At the last show we were in Omaha, there was this beautiful young girl named Maddie, and she had accessibility needs, and you get to see her during the show during Simply the Best. She made so many just loud screams and cries and all of these things. And her mother was saying that she's not as vocal. This is the first show that she's been the most vocal with. And though, we may not be able to speak in sort of the same way, we were able to speak and communicate in a very different way. And we got to meet her after the show. She waited, her and her parents waited, and she had the biggest smile on her face.
That
language, that connection.
Yes.
And it's a reminder that, no matter where you come from, no matter, if you have accessibility needs, where, what you identify as, what, your creed, race, when something impacts you as a human first, you get to see what it does, especially in a world that can seem very dark or, a little bit rough at times. So that's a reminder. I think that's the proudest moment for me. I know that people are like, that sounds cliche, but no, it really is.
It
really
doesn't. And here, you literally, you just wrapped up the entire show. No, I'm serious, because that is what we've been doing. It's not cliche. It is possibility. It is absolutely understanding that, every day we're trying to save lives.
Yeah.
We are every day looking up at TVs, and I used to do it. I used to wake people up, and I would go, we're delivering negativity to you. We go to a commercial break, and we become immune to it, and we act like we didn't give you anything. We just move on to the next story.
Yes. Right.
And then everyone's like, this is how I start my day? No. And that's what I didn't want anymore. And that's why we started this. And everything that you're talking about is what we can provide if we're just kinder human beings to each other.
Yeah.
And I always say, get out of your own way, reach out to someone, say something to someone that you maybe normally wouldn't have. They don't look like you, they don't speak like you, they don't dress like you. Great. Find out about their culture, their ethnicity, every aspect of it. I end every show the same way, which I always say, go out and be anything you want to be in the world.
Yes.
But before you're anything, be kind.
Be kind.
Absolutely.
Be kind. Be kind human beings to each other.
Sure.
Have the connection to each other. Yeah. You two are beautiful souls.
Thank you. Likewise.
I could sit here for hours and talk to you about this. I cannot wait. I want you all to get your tickets. Do not wait any longer, because this is what you're going to see play out on stage. I can't wait to hear you sing. There it is, the Fabulous Fox's website. So you go on, you purchase your tickets, find the tickets, get your tickets, and I want you to introduce the kids. Please do me a favor. My mom did it, and I can't say it enough. Introduce the kids at a very young age. It either will attach to them, or at least you can say, I did my part. And maybe it even comes up later on, but I'm getting chills. This is probably going to be one of the best I've ever seen. And I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of shows over my years. There you go. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, again at the Fabulous Fox. And it only runs for 14 days. Okay, so you better get your tickets now. Ladies, thank you. Where are you both from, by the way?
I'm from Washington, D.C.
Savannah, Atlanta, Georgia.
And have you been to St. Louis before?
This is my first time.
Well, welcome to St. Louis.
I've been waiting for this.
One of my favorite cities.
I hope we've treated you well.
I'm back home.
Yes.
I'm back home.
goodness.
I love
You're
St. Louis. Been here many times. Love
Cheers
it.
to St. Louis. Again, honor our city. I think that's the other thing, is too many people are like, oh, I'm not going to go into the city. Come on. Let's bring it back. You got to get into the city, because you wouldn't be able to go to the Fox if you didn't.
That's right.
So we've got more about your value and how important you are, and to believe in yourself. All of this played out on stage one more time at the Fabulous Fox. Get your tickets now to Tina, the Tina Turner musical. Ari, Roz, thank you.
Thank
Cheers
you.
to you. We'll be back with more of The Real Monica Adams Show. Think about this. When's the last time you called your doctor at 2 o'clock in the morning and he actually answered? Well, at Innovair Health Advocates, their patients are special. Their doctors, nurse practitioners, their care team care deeply about your health, your family, your work, and even your pet. Their clinicians are accessible, and they lead your care in and out of the hospital. In fact, Dr. Charles Willie offers his cell phone number to his patients to ensure they can intervene early in your illness. They can provide care above and beyond, offering lab, x-ray, echocardiogram, and other treatments in their office. Innovair Health Advocates, with 5 locations on both sides of the river. Check them out, innovairhealth.com. Welcome back. Weren't they incredible? Ari, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see her play Tina Turner. I was asking her actually at the break how many Tinas there were. 2, I'm told, she and Paris, and then of course some understudies. And then Roz, she said, I'm the only one, but then they have understudies as well. So depending on when you go to see Tina Turner musical, it depends on whether you'll see Ari or you'll see Paris. So I think we might have to go a couple of times. I'm going with my mother, but then I will also maybe have to do a girls' night out. This is probably one of those musicals you want to see over and over again. Wow, there was so much about that interview that I didn't even expect to take the turns that it did. We mentioned that when we came back, we would tell you just how important you are. And that's the message I wanted to get across to you. Understand, no matter who has tried to put you down, no matter who has bullied you in life, no matter who has maybe abused you, and I'm talking from a domestic standpoint, I'm talking from a sexual standpoint, from a verbal standpoint, they will not win unless you give them power. And that's the message I wanted to get across to you when we came back, and that is you can be truly anything you want to be. Every time I say that, it's not just a casual sentence. It truly means live it, breathe it, eat it, become it. When you were a little girl, if someone says you're not, they say you're fat, they say you're ugly, you're not. Do not give their words power. It's the greatest message I wanted to give you, and that's what you're going to see play out in this particular musical. Arts, entertainment, such an amazing part of our lives. Dance, and then also listening to the aspect of music. It's what that will allow us to do. And so many people tell me when they go through depression, they go through PTSD, they go through any aspect of anything that takes them to a somber standpoint, when they listen to music, it gives them hope and possibilities. So yes, that musical I think will probably become one of my favorites because there's so many lessons in life that have to play in that. You know, we talked about family. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to do a really quick little change, artist here. Change some clothes, change the set. My big brother's coming in. Well, I got 2 big brothers, but he's the middle part. Craig Adams is going to be my guest from Clayton Winehouse. He actually works with them. He is a sommelier. So when we have fun and we open up new wines, we talk about the different charcuterie platters, food, we talk about meat sticks and chocolates and all that. We're just having fun. We're enjoying it. We wet your whistle. We talk about all these incredible things that you can get as you head into the holidays. But he's going to teach us a little something. So when we return, Craig Adams, my big brother, will be in the blue chair for Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show since we launched back in March. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Personal training, life coaching, and styling as well. Info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Oh, it's time. I need to wet my whistle. It's time for our fun segment. I know that all of you have been enjoying it over the last couple of months, and I want to thank all of the staff at Clayton Winehouse for teaming up. Well, again, we always want to bring a little fun into your life, a little education. We take you on the ups and downs of life, and we pull out the hope for. Every Wednesday, we have Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, and I like to bring in different guests with us. Today, we're going to bring the man who's really going to educate, because we've been having fun and enjoying drinking wine, and we've had some tequila, and we've had some beer. But sometimes I'll say, I have no idea if I'm saying this right. He does. My big brother, Craig Adams, is joining us today on this issue of Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
This is the wine guy. His website, or I'm sorry, his email is actually Craig at like the wine guy.
My neighbor always said, "Oh, you're the wine guy, Craig, the wine guy." Yeah, I'm like, might as well.
Yeah.
There's a few people that have the same moniker.
That's what happens in life. You become like, I used to get, oh, you're the traffic girl. Oh, you're that news girl. I'm like, well, my name's Monica. But okay, yes. So he's the wine guy. So he actually has the education in wine. In fact, you used to have a store in Lafayette Square that was called, it was Vino Vitae, right? But is that the education of wine?
Basically, everybody they mispronounced it. But because it was too ethereal, it was the melding of Latin and Spanish, because that was my background from high school to college. Vino being wine and vitae being life, like curriculum
life. Okay.
vitae. So is a life of wine, which no matter what you do in life, if you have a passion, you can never get away from it. It
Right.
always follows you, and you might as well embrace it, kind of like I did at Clayton Winehouse. It's my second job.
Yeah.
I make pharmaceuticals by day and pour wine by night, so it's just a different
Chemistry. You had chemistry background in school, and
drug.
it's
The
like
science of wine.
yeah, the science of wine. So again, Craig's joining us. Craig is actually part of Clayton Winehouse. So thank you to Chris, thank you to Tim, thank you to Sean, thank you to Craig, and thank you to Adrian. Did I forget anybody? Anybody else part of them that I haven't met?
Sam and there's
Oh,
Steve.
oh yeah, and Sam. Well, how can I forget? I don't know Steve, but Sam has been so incredible every time we've been over there. And we do want you to go, and here's why. Everybody who watches the show gets 15% discount.
There you go.
Isn't that cool? I mean,
It's almost like being an employee.
right. So if you want to go in for hosting gifts, Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas coming up, we have New Year's coming up. I don't want you to go. I keep saying this, Craig. I don't want them to go to big box stores. It's all about supporting small businesses. I want you to go in, and they're really awesome. Everybody that's been in, Craig, for those of you that went to our event where we raised big money for Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue, they all sang your praises. They all said, "Your brother's so sweet and knowledgeable." I was like, "Well, I love to hear that." My big brother.
Yep.
He looks like my baby brother.
It's interesting. People say, "Oh, you're Monica's brother." I said, "Oh, Monica's my sister."
Oh,
So-
yeah. Yes. He's the wine guy. Well, I'm glad to have you in because many times throughout the last several weeks, we've probably butchered the names of the wines. I didn't want to do that. So today we want to thank Chris, and I've been saying it wrong the entire morning. It's Sancerre? Sancerre. Okay. So we're going to feature a white, but then you and I went in on a wine together because I really love the story behind this. So let's actually start. Is this Telos?
Telos. It's a Greek word. It means like basically attainment of a goal. So the cool thing, I guess you could say, in regards to the wine, the Telos wine from the Vineyard 36, is that Cam Ward is a partner and founder of this winery. Pursuit, an attainment of a goal. Cam Ward is a hockey player, a goalie from Carolina, and Brandon Saad out of the old Chicago Blackhawks. He is now with the St. Louis Blues, so he is kind of part of that, and he's doing a great job this season so far. And we have a unique collaboration with him and this winery to make one barrel. This is a single barrel
One
wine.
barrel?
That is it. This
Oh
is
my
one
gosh.
barrel of wine. So we'll talk about it, but the beauty is that a lot of what we do at Clayton Winehouse is unique stuff. There
Yes.
is kind of one-offs,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it different from the big box store, as you mentioned. You go in there, you find these things, which also makes it difficult because one week it's there, the next week it's gone.
Okay.
And the sales tactic of, well, if you really like it, you should buy it.
Right?
Especially since the fact that we have flights that are available, things you can drink by the glass and or in a flight, in a comparison and whatever. But the bottom line is that if you don't buy it when you find it, it very well most likely will not be there.
So I didn't know that, and that's probably why when I was talking to Chris about maybe featuring this wine, he's like, well, it is very, very unique. So pretty much, we're talking about it right now. You better go get it. Now, I did on purpose, Craig. I showed the price of that wine. People have asked before, so what changes from a $20 bottle of wine, even a $10 bottle of wine, to a $40, to a $50, to this one being $129? What allows someone to spend, to charge that? What, I mean, is it just the uniqueness of it all? Or what, and then some of these are $1,000 bottles of wine that people don't understand.
Well, there's a lot that goes into it. I think the mindset is that I always said that if you drink a wine that's $8 to $10, which they charge $8 to $10 a glass of wine, but usually those house wines are $8 to $10 bottles of wine.
Right.
Which is kind of a joke that 25% of that is charged in one glass. I jokingly say our house wines at Clayton Wine House are like coming over to my house and drinking my wine or Chris's wines or Sean's wines. But the thing is, if you are serving a $40 to $50 bottle of wine by the glass at the house wine level, you know it's a good bottle of wine. Partially because there's more labor that goes into it. There's more care. There's more oak and quality oak. There's more just the bottle, the cork, everything that goes into it is I'm proud of what I have here. So why not present it in something more than just a basic, throwaway bottle? A lot of times people keep these bottles. Matter of fact, we have bottles on display. Some of the first bottles of this, your first dollar, your first whatever.
Right.
It is economics. It is supply and demand. When you have a single barrel, 250 to 300 bottles of wine, that's it.
That's all that's going to come out of that barrel.
That's all that comes out of that barrel. It's the same mentality with, say, spirits.
We're going to open it.
Yeah. Did you want to do the white? And then
we
Go ahead first.
yeah, we can do both here.
And then I'll be
So
opening the red.
so Telos and Brandon Saad from our St. Louis Blues is part of this. So he just has his name behind it. He didn't like do any crushing of grapes.
I don't know the specifics of what his involvement was. I know that he's involved with the winery more than just as a. These days they have a ton of these
Celebrities
these
putting their
celebrity-
names, yes.
But you know what? There's a good and a bad thing to that. You
It
know,
sells
some
it.
are more involved. Like Maynard out in Arizona from Tool, he is the most recluse type of an individual who is so all in on that. Almost like, how do you even continue to be a musician and tour?
Well, how it's no different than Pink. You know, I'm Alicia Moore. I'm big into her wines, and that's you almost it's you get onto the wine list. She's been doing it for the last 4 years. I would love for you to bring Pink. Can you do that for me, please? Can you bring
Sure,
Pink to Clayton Winehouse?
I'll make my connections. you
Yeah,
know.
please do so. Get in touch with her publicist, and they'll get in touch with us. But it's the same kind of thing. People think that she just puts her name behind it. No, she's actually a winemaker.
A lot of them do, and there is a Wikipedia, which gotta love it. Wikipedia has a list, and I was looking it up the other day when I was trying to learn more about Brandon Saad's involvement and who makes what. But a lot of them just say, you know, they put their name on it versus involvement and versus. A lot of them help with the blending, which to me is the art of wine. After the science of wine is done, the blending, and I've done this at Mount Pleasant. In Augusta, we were able to actually, you know, sit down with the owner, the winemaker, and the marketing guy, and actually all give our opinions 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, whatever the best percentage is that everybody agreed to of those blends, which to me, I say blends are your friends. Every little aspect of a blend can enhance a wine and take it from kind of one layer to a multi-layered, amazing gold medal, you know, top of the line winning wine.
I am a
100-point wine, you know?
huge fan of blends. This is actually a Cabernet Sauvignon, though. This is a 2021, and it says, Telos means fulfillment, completion, and attainment of a final end. It is the telos of the grapes in this bottle to deliver a delicious wine for people to share and enjoy together. And that's actually from the Saad family.
Interesting enough is you could say that this thing that you've done is your telos.
It's my passion, right?
No, I'm talking about this show. This
This
was an attainment of a goal.
this Clayton Winehouse show? Or the entire show?
The Monica Adams show.
Well, yeah, the real Monica Adams. And the real Craig Adams, by the way, is just joining me for this. Let's do this. So, and this is actually great for us to bring up, and Michelle and I have talked about this in the past. People used to think, oh, if it's a screw-off cap, that's not a good bottle of wine.
Well, let's correct the terminology. It's a Stelvin closure.
So, oh, you mentioned that. Okay, what is a Stelvin closure?
Well, it is a mechanical closure. So the thing is that if you mechanically close a bottle of wine, it's going to be sealed pretty much like you meant it to be when you
See,
first
that's
got it.
anticlimactic, Craig. It doesn't
No,
make a sound.
And there is a seal, like a Teflon coated cap, which kind of seals in the flavors. It's not going to age. It's not going to change from the initial harvest. It will develop a little bit in the bottle, but the beauty is that if you want to drink this wine as the winemaker intended, when he put it out, then you drink it. And you don't necessarily save it per se for the next year, the 2 years, 5, 10, 12. It won't really develop in the bottle.
Right.
Now, oxygen is one of the biggest things that changes the flavor profile, hence the reason we decant and we also aerate wines. I joke that aeration is like spanking a baby on the butt, waking it up, helping
Hello,
it,
we want to drink you.
taking your first breath, whereas decanting is kind of keeping the wine alive, but it can die a slow death in that decanter. So you got
Yes.
to be careful about an older wine. When you decant it, it's going to sometimes exhale and die. So depending on the age and whatnot, but it also removes sediment that, you know, in the art of a beautiful decanter, there is a curve to the bottom of the decanter, the shoulder of a bottle.
Yes.
More so on the red wines, they actually trap the sediment. So when you're pouring, you would stop at
This is a
that
shoulder, right?
shoulder of the wine and actually would trap some sediment.
Is this the
using
neck?
a candle.
Oh, look it. This is the neck and this is the head
And the
and the
then
shoulder.
bottle, and the
There's no
body-
feet,
the
though.
body.
There's no feet on
They
this
call
wine.
the bottom a punt, which is
A punt?
more intense structure, kind of like a pyramid. It's like a triangle.
That's a
So
punt.
that punt on the bottom gives it more integrity, especially with sparkling wines.
I told you we would get
So-
educated. These are the things that I don't know about, and probably barely any of the
They
people
call
I
it
bring on.
educational retail for a reason. You know, it's curated. It's ability to learn more. You're not going to get this at
Would you
know,
pour
an average store.
We're going to do a whole nother show with you on glasses, and people think it's a joke. Oh, come on, this glass isn't going to change the wine, but it really does by what? The body of the glass, the slenderness of
curvature
the glass.
top, the
Yeah,
the
we're not going to do
wideness
that
of the-
today.
and
That's going to be a
everything,
whole nother
the
show I
depth
want you
and
to
the
come back for.
thickness and-
But just this question alone, and people are going to be serving wines for the holidays. If I've got a white here and a red, which one would you put the white in? Does it matter?
Well, putting your hand on a glass will warm it up.
Now, I want
So
you all to know that.
Stemless.
That's why I'm not usually a fan of these.
Yeah, but you're not going to knock them over per se either.
You can
Especially
hold it. You
if
want to hold it
you're
like this,
next
right?
to your bed drinking wine,
Let's-
you're not going to knock
Next
it over.
to your bed. What is he doing at home?
Who doesn't drink wine in bed?
I
right?
don't.
No.
I've never.
Maybe
I
you
guess I should. Okay, so if I did this, I'd be changing the temperature of the wine.
That's why the
People,
stem is there. You're
that's
supposed to
why
hold
the stem is there.
That's why if I
So let's-
give you a glass, you should be really handing it like that
Oh,
or like
by the
that.
bottom.
You shouldn't be doing this, and
Okay,
you shouldn't be pouring
show
like
that
this.
again, Craig. You
shouldn't be
weren't on
holding-
camera.
Well, just the mindset that you can hold a glass and you can swirl a glass, but the stem is there for a reason.
So we want to present a glass to someone like this. I think I would drop it.
It's more of a
I
skilled
feel
art,
safe
but
for to do this. Okay, but here, so let's pour some. We're going to try some of this. The white, which one would you like to put the white in?
do you have two of the stemless? We can do that. That way we keep the
Yes.
wine separate. I always say it's not a big deal if you go from white to red, light to heavy, dry to sweet. You're keeping the purity as you go. You're not going to necessarily infect the previous wine.
So a lot of people will always think that they've been taught, oh, if you're going to try different wines, you better do whites before reds. That's not the case either.
No,
Always.
I said you should do white before red.
But
the
there's
fact
reds
is-
that are lighter, though, right?
Yeah, but not most, but
Okay.
almost every white's lighter than the
Okay.
lightest red.
So you would like to do whites first.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
then let's
white
do
to
the whites.
red, dry to white. Dry
Pour
to,
the white
dry
for
to
us, and
sweet.
then I'm going to tell you what Chris. By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. My big brother Craig is joining us. Craig is actually a sommelier at Clayton Winehouse, and that is how you say it, correct? Sommelier, not sommelier.
There's multiple pronunciations.
Sommelier.
Yeah.
Definitely not that one. How do you
Sommelier, sommelier.
How do you say what you
the
are?
French, probably a European French version is more sommelier,
Sommelier.
or sommelier is kind of more of an Americanized version.
Right.
Kind of like meritage, and it's meritage versus meritage, not to get way off the beaten path. But
So it just
it's
depends.
a lot of variations
regions.
on words that
Okay.
people will somewhat
Sure.
change that. So this is the Sancerre.
Mm-hmm.
Sancerre is not a grape. It is a region
Okay.
in France.
That's
I
good.
always say that the thing about Sancerre is it is in the Loire Valley
Mm-hmm.
of France. The upper left quadrant, I always say, of France. And people don't realize that France, cheers, salud.
Salud. They don't realize that France. Well, we don't have to
They
try
don't
it.
realize that France is basically California East. So
Okay.
California grapes are the same grapes that are grown in France. The left side of France
Mm-hmm.
is Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
So Sauvignon Blanc, Sancerre, Loire. Bottom line, we have a number of Sancerres. This is kind of the penultimate expression of what Sancerre can be.
We're looking at the screen right now, and I did this on purpose when I went over to Clayton Winehouse. Those are all Sancerres,
Yes.
right? So $32.99 for this particular one. No, I'm sorry, it's $29.99. Oh, you know what? Oh,
Sometimes the
I think he gets-
economy changes.
yeah,
and
I think
vintages change.
you're actually, from what Chris provided me, it's $29.99, but then you get 15% off. So, but it shows all the different price points. So what makes them from $30 to $65?
Well, sometimes it's producers. Sometimes vineyards are rated differently in France. That as people pass down vineyards from father to son,
Mm-hmm.
basically the son gets a smaller portion, and sometimes the oldest brother, the oldest son, gets the better portion. It's so true in Burgundy, just to the right of the Loire Valley in Burgundy. And bottom line, it's like sometimes soil dictates quality in a lot of places. So the terroir, as they use the word in France, is basically about everything that goes into it: the sun, the soil, the wind, the rain, the climate, the slope of the hill. Everything will affect the way a grape flourishes.
And this is still opening up. And when we first poured it, the nose is changing. Actually, what Chris provided me, and thank you, Chris, for always providing the notes to these wines, a wine with a delicate nose, very, very, very light, and aromas of white, fresh fruits and citrus. A lot of this is very citrusy, highlighted by its expression of the Sauvignon grape. So is it Le Baron?
Le Baronnet.
Le Baronnet.
basically.
See, this is why I have
Anytime
him on.
You could say Baroness, but I don't like to use the.
Le Baronnet.
I say Baronnet. A lot of we had a lady from France, Oriana, who worked with us. Regretfully, she had to go back to France. She's been living the great life in France. But anyhow, the fact is that whenever I speak French and I didn't take it formally, I just like to slur my words. So if you've been
That's what
drinking
happens when
all
you
day,
drink too much.
basically a lot of French vowels are dropped. Somebody called them the careful consonants. I still have yet to figure out exactly what that means. I need to learn more French, but
Gosh, it
most of
smells
my
good.
French is pretty spot on. The Sancerre area is a hillside, and it grows amazing Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir. Pouilly Fumé may be the one where people might be familiar with.
That looks like Pouil. Pouilly.
Pouilly
I mean, it's so.
Fumé.
I look at
Pouilly
French.
Fumé
I wanted to take French in grade school.
is
and high school.
a smoky, kind of gun-flinty type of wine. It is Sauvignon Blanc as well, and it's right in the same area in the Loire Valley.
Okay.
Ultimately, Fumé Blanc, that Robert Mondavi made famous, was to emulate the Pouilly Fumé from France,
Mm-hmm.
and Sancerre and Pouilly Fumé kind of compete as the top dogs when it comes to Sauvignon Blanc. This they call more of the springtime Sauvignon
That's
Blanc.
what this
versus,
reminds me
say, the
more of
summertime.
This reminds me more of a spring and summer. So as we're going into Thanksgiving and fall, Chris says it's an excellent companion for turkey. So if you are in fact hosting turkey as well as crab cakes, grilled trout, and salmon, because I always like to know about the pairings. Also great with feta, goat cheese, and vegetables. Those are pairings of the food that they would recommend.
Well, see, interesting what you mentioned is everything has some richness to it.
Mhm.
I have never been a mindset of like with like. There's nothing wrong with it. I do contrast. If you have something that's rich and all that thick cheese and all those thick gravies and those flavors, you want the acidity to kind of cut through
How would this do?
and refresh your palate.
I actually bought
So,
this at Clayton Winehouse. This is from 4 Health Farms, uncured Wagyu beef stick with pepper cheese. Michelle and I tried this. These are incredible, by the way.
I have
These are
not had them
addicting.
yet.
What?
Interesting
Oh,
enough.
first time,
Well, they
breaking
sit there
news.
They sit there on the bar, which is a great sales thing. But
Why haven't you tried them?
we have these amazing
Let's
natural
show actually going
beef
through
sticks.
Clayton Winehouse.
No preservatives. So you have to eat them within a certain period of time, right?
Oh, we're going to eat them right now.
The coolest thing is they're from Japan,
Missouri. That's what we said.
and we talk about Wagyu beef being similar to Kobe beef. So
Yes.
Kobe beef is the standard in Japan, right? So Wagyu emulates Kobe, and the fact that we have a Japan, Missouri,
I love
that
it.
makes Wagyu beef
Isn't
is
that
kind
funny?
of a play on words.
We're looking right now at your fall open house, which is coming up this Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m., and the Mobile will be there, and there's a lot of different food that you'll be able to try with that. But this is free.
Yes, it is.
An
So
opportunity to try
we ask
everything.
that you at least sign up, that we know you're coming.
Well,
We wanna
that's so you
know
have enough wine.
We don't have 350 people. We have 150 people. Matter of fact, I think we're trying to limit the numbers of people that show up so we can
Sure.
produce enough wine and have enough space.
So 5 to 7 p.m.
Uh-huh.
on Saturday, Clayton Winehouse. Again, ClaytonWinehouse.com is the website if you want to reserve and go to more. What do you think? I love this because it doesn't have the grease that a lot of meat sticks
Yeah.
has.
That's true.
It's good meat
It's
from
good.
Japan, Missouri. Okay,
From Japan.
so we've got to do
Japanese.
this quickly. Let's open up the wine from our St. Louis Blue, Brandon Sod. Mom told us not to talk with our mouth full.
I'm not.
I am. So before we wrap up today, I want you to talk about the proper way to open wine, and then we're going to decant it as well. We can share it with our wonderful team here. George and Michelle are probably salivating in there. This is a good bottle of wine that Craig and I went
I don't know
in
if you
together.
mentioned the
We
price.
actually purchased
We talked
this.
about price earlier, about supply and demand and economics and limitations. But the thing about these wines, some of them have wax, and I think people will argue if you have a really good corkscrew, this thing becomes a weapon basically.
Got a
You
knife.
have to have a really good knife on it, but we don't have any foil. Whenever I cut the foil, it's below this first lip, and then you can just kind of go up against it and it comes right off.
Okay.
When you have the wax on there, you don't try to take the wax off.
This is the thing that somebody needed to learn at a restaurant, Craig.
If you
The poor kid did not know how to get our bottle of wine.
have a really
open.
good corkscrew and you have a really good worm screw on it with a nice point, it will go down into that bottle perfectly. And with the wax, it pretty much just pops right off. The thicker the wax, the harder it is. There's a couple wines out there that are just really they're more plasticky than waxy. But doing this in a chair,
What
But
is
the
that
wax will
called
just
that you're
pop
using?
right through there. What is it called?
Yeah, because it's not
The
just
lever you're talking about?
well, the whole thing. It's like people will buy, and maybe that's a good gift for
Well, it's
someone. Do
a
you sell
waiter's
these?
corkscrew, yeah. We have a few different ones. Sometimes it's personal preference.
There's the noise.
But
That's Michelle's favorite sound.
There you go.
Every bottle of wine opening makes
this
her
is a
happy.
younger wine, so the decanting of it's probably equally important.
Okay, let's talk about that. So decanting, which we have not discussed on the show yet. These are all different shapes and sizes. There's some really huge ones that all filter around. My husband bought me a new one that is the top of it. You pour it over like this glass ball that filtrates.
That actually aerates it
Yes. So
because by dispersing that, it's aerating it.
ah,
It's kind of what you
I just
do when
thought
you
it looked
sip
fancy.
wine. You know, you kind of put it in your mouth and aerate it.
So you
They're
say we should
true works
decant
of
that
art.
bottle of wine?
It is young, and
Okay, but
that
hold on.
helps open it up.
I want to do both here before we wrap up this morning. I want to try it before you decant it.
That's actually, I recommend that.
Oh,
I
okay.
recommend multiple wines with multiple courses. Try the wine with the protein, try the wine with the sauce, try the wine with the spice, because you could find a white that goes better with a red sauce because of the protein. But trying this wine in multiple facets, look at the color on that
Wow,
wine.
that is.
And then I always try to roll it to keep it from dripping all over the place.
Oh, I was going to hold it for you. Oh, no drips.
And
Look at him. Pro. He's a pro.
so,
Oh, wow, that's a big babe. That's
yeah,
a big
I can
daddy.
only imagine.
The color of this wine is stunning. That's one of the
I would
darkest
say it's
cabs
a
I've seen.
warmer climate production with.
Ooh. Before I forget, tell them what's the proper temperature to serve red wine.
55 to 60 at the most. At 55, 50
Isn't
to
that
55.
amazing to you?
So 50 to 60 is kind of the range. 50 to 55 for whites, 55 to
that's
60
good.
for reds. Salud.
But so, Craig, people do not think that they put wine in a cooler. They think, wait a minute, that was like the big wake up call for a lot of people. I thought you just serve it warm or room temperature.
Well, the warmer it is, the more alcohol is going to pop. All that alcohol is just going to, that's all you're going to get. Same thing with a
in
cool
your face,
wine.
alcohol.
You cool it too much, below 40 degrees, then it binds up. What do you do in the winter?
Ooh, that's
You put a
good.
coat on and you bind up. The wine does the same thing. And if you heat it up, it gets excited and starts to come to life. But if you get
Our
it too
wine's
much,
getting excited.
all you're doing is boiling off alcohol. So you gotta be careful when it comes to wine that you don't go too cold or too warm.
Can I ask this? When you're pouring the wine in a decanter, is there a certain way you should be pouring it, depending on the age? You've taught me this in the past.
Well, in general, it's all gonna decant out, right? I mean, that's the beauty of
But
it.
if it's younger,
I try to, decant it against the other side, kind of pour it with a purpose. Ah, there you go. You can see it's bubbling up in the bottom down there. You're wanting to get, don't spill any on the carpet, Craig. You want to definitely get it to open up. Now, if you were doing this professionally, you could stop it right here. You could use a candle underneath the shoulder. You could use your cell phone in this great day and age. I wouldn't expect any sediment to be in a young wine like this. The sediment is
so
kind of
that's
the
why you're stopping it and looking at it?
chemical- Yeah. the
Why is it that
chemicals.
true wine people like to taste the sediment?
Well,
The passion and everything that went into the bottle?
I don't know if they like to taste it.
They
per
do.
se.
They always
There's a
wanna-
crunchiness. But,
I'm telling you, there are people who are really into wine that they want to, I'm like, why do you want to taste the dirt?
well, it's not dirt. It's tannins. It's anthocyanins. It's all the chemistry that goes into it. As it gets older, that color tends to drop out and precipitate out. So older
It's chewy though,
reds get
right?
lighter. Well, it's chewy and crunchy and chunky. I mean,
Chunky.
tannins.
I don't want to taste that.
Tannins are like chewing on. You can say that you're chewing on dirt, but ultimately, it is an expression of what was there before. But it's not like something I would go out of
This-
my way to chew on.
Brandon Sod, this is incredible. This is the best wine we've had on the show.
Well, at $130 a bottle, I would hope that
Oh,
it
okay,
has,
yeah, exactly. So, Craig,
has
thank
some
you, by the way.
value.
Thank
But
you
it
for
doesn't dictate it.
No,
I when I first started there, I got criticized for selling the first tier wines. But if you don't know other wines, you don't feel comfortable.
Right.
I don't sell what I don't know just to sell it. But I don't downplay a customer from going where they want to be.
No.
If they're comfortable spending $100 on a present, I'm going to find them a
Yes.
bottle of wine at $99.99, and we have a lot of them.
but you won't spend $99.99 because you listen to the show and you get 15% off. So, Craig, everyone needs to go in for that. Before we have to wrap up, I do want you to pour it. I want to see if it's changed at all. And granted, we just decanted it. I will tell you that when Jim and I went on our honeymoon in Napa, there was a wine that we got. I called the winery and said, how long should we decant this? And they said 2 to 3 hours.
Some of them are like that.
What do you recommend? Depends on the year.
My half
Depends
hour
on a lot
rule
of things.
still, I think, applies.
A half hour?
30 minutes here and there. You kind of want to chill something down. You want to warm it up. Depends upon where it was. I'll pour it for you.
But it depends. If it's an older bottle, of wine, let's say it's like an old Italian wine or
I wouldn't leave
French.
something sit that long.
Oh,
I think they're
interesting.
talking about something that's young and
It
vibrant.
was young.
And needs to be. This the problem.
Oh,
with
you just
decanters
spilled
is
it on the decanter.
Well, that's the problem.
Don't
with
put it.
decanters.
Don't put it on the rug.
They don't.
All right, let's do this.
They don't pour like a
So
bottle.
the two wines we have featured today, if you want to go in and you want to have something, I mean, this would be
This
a
is why you
really
have
cool
a-
bottle, by the way. This would be a cool bottle for anybody who's a St. Louis Blues fan because this is affiliated with our St. Louis Blue, Brandon Sod. Thank you, Brandon. Dr. Lehman was trying to get him on the show. Sorry, we couldn't make that work. I hear he is crazy, crazy busy. The Sancerre. Again, you can go in and you can get your 15% discount on all of these. I'd recommend not just getting one bottle of wine, but trying to stock up as much as you can.
Well, if you
And
buy
Craig?
12, you get it. Well, I guess you already get one discount.
Yeah,
You
you're
get
getting. You
two.
can't stack up the discounts.
I guess
You
you-
also sell this at Clayton Winehouse. Bijou. This is got 68% cinnamon and cayenne. That's why I brought. It's from Ghana, by the way. And then the sea salt caramel bites. These are milk chocolate. So with the wines we paired today, Mr. Wine Guy, what would you recommend would be the best chocolate pairings? Dark.
Get some good wine.
It's phenomenal. I'm telling you, Michelle, trust me, and George are like, come on, wrap
For
up
a
the segment.
2021 vintage that's drinking that well that early, I mean, it's deep, dark, black fruits, black cherry, and all that.
So which chocolates? Dark or milk?
I would always do dark chocolate.
Yes, I thought
To me,
so.
it's healthier, and I love dark chocolate, but like anything else, it's an acquired taste, whether it be beer,
Yeah, but this is
bourbon,
68.
wine.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 68% cinnamon and cayenne. So it's dark.
When you get over like 80 to 90%, it starts to get chalky, just like the tannins in wine, the tannins in chocolate. But sometimes it's too many tannins.
Look, we have a third bottle because next week my interns are joining us. Zach and Hannah from SIUE. I cannot wait for them to join. I wanted to do it on the week of Thanksgiving because I'm so thankful for all the work that they've done. Craig, this is the bottle of wine that we are featuring. It's a 2021. How do you pronounce it?
I'd say Domaine des Chenepierre.
And
So the Moulin Avant is one of the Cru Beaujolais. We talk about Beaujolais being similar
Beaujolais.
to, it's basically Burgundy adjacent.
look, it's only $22.99.
So Gamay is a grape that people do not appreciate enough. If you do Cru Beaujolais, you get a chance to kick it up a notch. There are 12 crus that are basically elevated Beaujolais. So I highly
week.
recommend you at least try them.
And isn't there a Beaujolais Day?
It was a way to celebrate harvest. People
Oh.
they would get out berets, and
Yeah.
it was kind of a marketing thing. But there's nothing wrong with the Gamay grape. There's nothing wrong with Beaujolais.
Oh,
Everything has its place. So
That's my husband. He's like, hey, give me some of that wine. I want some of that $100 bottle of wine. Okay, so we've tried a lot today, and then we're going to try this for you next week. We're going to have to bring Craig back because he truly educates us. We just like to drink the wine, and that's a lot of
I
you.
do too.
You just like to enjoy Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year's coming up.
We have
A
some great
lot
gift-
of hosting.
gift baskets.
Yes, we talked about that before. A lot of great gift baskets. You can make your own, and they've got some put together already. Clayton Winehouse, thank you to Chris and Sean and Tim and Adrian and Sam and Craig and Steve, who I evidently haven't met.
come on
Did I
down
get
to
everybody?
our house, the
Yeah.
Clayton Wine House.
So for the fall open house this coming Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. Just out of courtesy, let them know you're coming so they have enough wine for you. But that's one way for you to be introduced. And the thing that makes them special is that you can go in, and you can get a bottle of wine, and you have it for retail, and they will open it up right there for you. Or you have all these different flights that they offer as well. There's food there for charcuterie. There's syrups there. There's pastas there. Trust me, just support local and support somebody who's supporting our show. Craig, cheers.
Cheers. I think I need some more.
Thanks for coming. It's time for us to drink and for you as
Salud.
well. Enjoy and go wet your whistle.